Well, I think we're going to have an experimental day. Battery exhausted, she says. I'm fucking exhausted. Right, welcome back everyone. You know who I am. This is episode 2. If you don't know who I am, go and watch episode 1 and you'll know by the end of the episode. I've got to get this fretboard, neck and fretboard, fret slots cut and an inlay done. I am a lazy inlayer, I've got to say, right? I'm always looking for a way that's quick, repeatable and doesn't involve me hand cutting teeny tiny pieces out. So here is my ash neck. Oh, you can't use ash? Well, I've got an ash snooker cue, so stick that right up your ring piece. I've got a very black wood manufactured in Mexico for the uninitiated. Made in Mexico, like it's a fucking He-Man figure. So on here, I've got to get my truss rod cut in. We've got a spoke wheel truss rod. I'll run through all these stages and we'll just get stuck in. I know I just said that we're going to have a fiddly day and some of you might have panicked and thought I've invited your uncle. Don't worry, it's not that sort of day. So first things first, we're going to get the truss rod cut in. Let's do that first. I'm just going to run through it and we'll have a little bit of fun today. Do you know what wasn't funny? I went and had lunch with Mrs. Richards. Let's start the episode as we mean to go on. I went and had a lovely lunch at a local restaurant with Mrs. Richards, all right? It was a rarity. We used to, back in our fat days, that was fucking 3 times a week. It's very rare now, so it's nice to catch up with the wench. But we sat there, opposite each other, as you do, and a couple sat to our right, and they decided to sit next to each other, not opposite, which is psychopathic. Don't want to see what's on their laptop. And they just faced us the entire time. So I couldn't turn my head right because the fucking weirdos were sat there chewing, looking at my earlobes. You people are fucked up. Sit opposite your loved ones, even if you don't like them. You've got to do it. Otherwise people will think you're an absolute serial killer. We need to put on the spectrometers and we need to find the centre of the neck. That is very important. So on this guitar, we've got a 42mm nut. So that makes life very, very easy. Are you watching Dave? Of course you are. Dave's on the board today. I've had a word with him. I've told him, you're a cunt, Dave. Sort your life out. The next thing you need to check is the thickness of your truss rod. I know these are 6mm, 6.1. All right, 6 and 2 queefs. So all I'm going to do, because I want to make sure when I'm lining things up, I'm going to make sure that I am nicely centered. So I'm going to go 3mm either side of that line. Over to the truss rod chopper. You've all seen this box. It's like a little badger coffin. Badgers do have a bit of a cough, don't they? TB, innit? Now, as we know, right, ready, Dave? As we know, I'll machine my necks to 40mm. That is to work on my little 40mm box. So that's nice and easy. I've got to line these centre lines up now. Make sure that's nice and solid and it's not going to go anywhere. Now I need to line these centre lines up with the centre of my dirt box. Basically, when I made this box, I put like a slot there so I can move this and adjust it and make it lovely jubbly. You wanted serious, you mung beans, so I'm fucking giving it to you. Right up the noose. So I'm going to just put my router on, which can't go side to side. And it's very difficult to see. So what I'm going to do basically is just touch that router down. Zzz, dink, like that. And I'll just check that my router, just a little tiny indent, is right in the centre of my lines. Once I've done that, and I know I'm tickety-boo, I've got a little mark at this end so I know where my truss rod finishes and we'll make sure we're fine with that. And away we go. Right, I'm going to put my ears on, I'm going to do a bit of routing and I'll see you in a second. Now, quite simply, one of the easiest things to do, isn't it? Once you've made that box, go back some previous episodes. I think the NF53 series, I made that box. So you can see what you're doing and all that sort of stuff. Little tips now, which I'm known for in the trade.
Hello, penis enlargement clinic.
That fits beautifully, right? But there's a bulbous end on your truss rod. Everyone knows that. Sort out your bulbous end. So we're just going to mark where that one is. Little cheeky chisel. One on the angle, 2 on the angle, 3 on the angle. Now he is also a little bit lower at that point than he is there, so we just need to notch that out a little bit. That little nubbin. Nubbins. So we'll just go in here, we'll just take that out. Now you could incorporate that a little bit into your jig if you want to get specific, if you're going to be using the same truss rod and the same neck design every time. I quite often doing different stuff, so I can't really do that. I've got to have an air of adjustability in what I'm doing. We also want to square your end up. This ash is a funny one. It's light, but it's chewy. Paul Satelli Barber, he's just described his wood as chewy.
He said, oh.
In that goes. Now, fucking handsome. Happy with that? And then we're in here, everything's in like Flynn, and we are pretty much, I'm a codpiece below surface. That is handsome. There are many different types of truss rod you can use. Pre-wrapped numbers, these are all right, but they've got a very bulbous end, so I'm not as much of a fan. You've got to take a lot more wood out. So that one's on there. That's a piece of piss, isn't it? Whew, easy peasy. So our truss rod's in. We can check that that is central, and it is absolutely pucker in the middle of the neck. Now, I've got my lovely blackwood fretboard, so I'm going to cut this one roughly to size. When I say roughly, it is going to be roughly, because I don't want to have to be lining things up perfectly when I go to glue it on. We're going to do all the work to this fretboard after it's glued on. So we use a nice permanent pen, which I can't see for shit. Let's try a white pencil, shall we? Marvellous. To the bandsaw! Right, now I've also, gosh, got a little bit of flame in that, just a little bit, unintentional flammage. I'm happy with that. So that is a little bit oversized, and if I dare say it myself, rough as fuck. Now, because I've got a truss rod in the spoke wheel regions on this one, I've got to shape the end of this one now, because I can't router this out once the truss...
Come again?
Do you know what I mean? I'll spit it out, Paul, you fucking dick. So I'm just going to stick this one down very, very briefly, clamp it to the end of my bench, shout Hail Mary motherfucker, and just shape the end of it. I'm just literally going to shape in that section, and that is it. Diary of a CEO on the headphones today. Love it. Bit of Mr. Bartlett, Plymouth boy. Plymouth boy. Sorry, he doesn't want to associate with me. Right, so I've shaped the end. That's all I've done. So when I glue this one on now, very briefly, that is the only bit I've got to line up, and that is fairly simple. It just literally lines up against the end of the Bobatti. Make sure I've got overhang going all the way up. We'll stick him on, we'll glue him upside down, we'll get a bit of tape on here. Anyway, I'll finish this up. I'll see you when we're glued on, trimmed up, and ready to do a bit of sneaky inlay. About half a second for you. You fucking got it so easy. For me, yeah, I've got it easy as well, really. Living the dream. And fuck it, it's custom t-shirts. Online now. Click below, motherfuckers. Spend your money.
Many unbearable hours later.
Just tidying away. Cheers, Peter. Thank you very much. Well, here we go. Phase 2. It's still the same day. It's quick, isn't it? That fucking glue. What's the name of it? Brought to you by Type. It's not brought to you by Type Bond. They don't sponsor anyone, which makes me a bit sad. But anyway, there you go. Can't have everything for free, can you? Fuck's sake. Now, we're glued on, we're trimmed up. I spared you the trimming bit, all right? It's like I don't show you trimming me nuts either. But I've trimmed that. It's all looking lovely. This is too thick, all right? It's like my dad used to say to me, it's too fucking thick. 8.2 mil. Because I'm doing an inlay and I want to be sticking... Shall I just run you through the inlay? It looks like that. It's a bit of a compass sort of inlay sort of thing. Now, I've tried many different ways of doing this, and basically, the laser cutter doesn't like cutting little teeny tiny bits of wood. I was going to do it in timber and other sort of stuff. I didn't want to do it manually because that's fucking ball achy, innit? So I bought lots of different colours of acrylic, which it does cut out really easily. I could only get that acrylic in 3mm, so I've got to be a little bit dubious because I've got to do a radii on the fretboard. Basically, when I cut the laser template, I cut that out, and then I also cut that one out, and this has got a 2.5mm offset. That works nicely with the Stumac nubbin. Out comes the Stumac nubbin. There she is. I've had to stop Jacko fucking touching that one. He's all over it. Let me take you to Neverland. I want to protect the kids. Now, it was Tito. Shut up, you cunt. Now, that is the inlay. This all comes out. I've got to do the same thing on here on the 12th fret. So the order I'm going to do it is different to the way I did it last time when I did a cheeky inlay. Here's my Strat one, right? So I can mark there where the centre of my 12th is. I'm just going to double check that that is exactly the same, because my laser templates might not necessarily be the same as the steel ruler templates I use for cutting the slots. Be diligent, Paul, you fucking idiots. So here's my 25.5 with me notches, buenos. And they're the same. They line up perfectly. So we're going to chance it. Oh, do you really want to chance it? Yeah, fuck it. So I'll bring out the white pencil. Remember doing that as a kid? Oh, look at it. The pencil's bending. Pencil's bending. I'll do that with my knob now. I'm just going to mark the centre of that 12th fret. Nurse Gladys Emmanuel. All right, that's the centre of my 12th fret. Lovely, jubbly. I'm happy with that. Right through the dots. Right through the dots. No fucking around. Now I've just got to tape this one on to that centre mark. So I'm going to put this on the thicknesser and get it down close, and then I'm going to put it through the drum sander because that will do me parallel, and we'll get this to 6mm thickness. That way I know that when I do my radius, I've got about 4mm on the side, which is nice. I don't know if you can see there. Can you see that? Look around the eyes, not around the eyes. When you've got a 12-inch radius, it is only about, a millimetre. There's no need to say about. Should we measure it? It's about as technical as we'll ever be. I like to have about 3mm of fretboard on the side. I like a thinner fretboard myself. I have done chunky in the past, but the thinner your fretboard, the more meat on the neck you've got on the underside of that truss rod. It's not even 0.8. It's fuck all. It's fuck all. It's 1/2 mil. It's a couple of queefs over 1/2 mil. So we ain't got to worry too much. So I'm going to reduce this to 5mm. I'm going to reduce the fretboard to 5mm exactly. In my head, it makes perfect sense. It might not in yours, and we all know now, don't really give a fuck. So let's get over and we'll do a quickly 3-stage. One pass, back on the bench. Ready? Remember your eyes and your ears. Sorry, I was being rude. Right, there you go. I've put my lines back on. That's where this has got to go. That is on the 12th fret. We just triple check there. Look, they're on the lines. Lovely. Visually, spiritually, and all the other fucking... Emotionally, that was the one. Beautiful. So we'll have a couple of frets going through the fucking bad boy. Lovely, jubbly. So the acrylic is 2.7mm thick. Because this only gets 0.6mm thinner at the edge of the fretboard, I should have a good couple of mil left of that, so we're pretty much good to go. 2.6mm, so it is. And away we go. I'll try and bring you along for the ride, but let's be honest, it's probably going to be fucking soul destroying, isn't it? I'm going to try and be clever and get that all stuck to a bit of tape. There you go. I should be able to just transfer that. Transfer that right in the O now. Fucking, I'm getting good at this. I'm not. Right, always get out the spanking double-sided tape for these jobs. No fucking around. That's not going anywhere. You can shake it around, do what you fucking want with that. Touch yourself when no one's looking. It's fine, as long as no one tells the vicar. he'll feel left out. There's a vicar in my comment section, and I'll feel a little bit guilty for the vicar jokes now. I'll keep it to priests. I know you don't like that lot.
That dream within a dream.
So on goes the Stu Mac Doodah with this light cost £9 grand. I'll bring you in for a better shot in a minute. The money shot. So now I've got the depth. We need to set the cheeky depth stop, which is a £58,000 upgrade from Stu Mac. We've got a little fine adjuster on here. We should get a perfect inlay. Oh, perfect, you say? Yes, I fucking do. I might break out the meta glasses for one last foray. I'm putting my sunglasses lenses on these so I can just record people on the streets. It's way funnier.
What's the crack? What's the crack? What's the catch? What's the catch? Gonna build a guitar totally from scratch. We make mistakes, but carry on, carry on. We live and learn and make another one. LPs and SGs, another Fender Strat. P90 pickups, it's gonna sound real fat. This build is epic, it's sure the best by far. Milehouse is building another great guitar. Sausage, pretzel, maple, nick, a perfect finger blaster. Is it a funky PRS or Ramon Bean Telecaster? There's a bit of swearing, that's the Milehouse way. So if that's not your thing, you really don't have to stay.
Right, so check that the sound's on. Like an absolute kipper, I've just filmed this segment and realised that I hadn't put the mic receiver on. Nothing to do with DJI, just me being an absolute mung piece. So what I've done, which I can't redo because I've already done it, because I'm an idiot, is I've used my Crimson Top Wallop Little Bastard. That's not a technical term, but I like that. I'm going to write that on there because I think it's funny. And I'm going to do it like my old woodwork teacher. That's Little Bastard now. I like that. This is Big Bastard. Or was he called Fat Bastard? I can't remember. I've used Little Bastard to go up and down my frets. All right. I've hovered in between so you don't get the metal shavings in the knuckles. And I've got to this point where I'm nicely filled in. Or I say nicely. It's rough as a badger's ass at the minute. But it's all right. You can't... Phil wouldn't cut himself as long as he was careful. This is the beveled side. Can you see that, Dave? Can you see that? It's got a 30-degree bevel on it. This is the Fretalizer bevel file. That's the whole point of filming this little bit. This has got a straight piece and a 30-degree bevel or a 25. I don't know what they said it was. It's got a degree of bevelage. I would probably prefer to see this as a 25 and a 45 rather than the straight one, because the straight one basically does what that does, and I tend to use two rather than swap things out. Do you know what I mean? Am I talking wank? But the best thing about this thing is the fact that it's going to put me a perfect bevel on here. I'm going to bring Dave in for the close-up. You ready for this, Dave? You sexy bastard. Now, try not to ride up over your frets, because that's a bad day. You might get away with a little bit of murder with the old stainless steelies. It won't fuck them too bad. But also, what I'm going to do is file this away until I start filing away the corner of the wood as well. And then we will know that we can stop. It's a hell of a technical, isn't it? So I've basically kept going until I've got some wood shavings in with the metal shavings. And that is far enough. I'm out of breath. 45 years of... I'm too old for this shit. Now, here is a perfectly good... an interesting topic for you, all right? That all this gear's out and you wonder why the fuck I got all that out. This is stainless steel Jescar fret wire. My favourite fret wire, super consistent. This fretboard has just been sanded. It was dead flat. Everything was tickled at every stage. Everything was parallel. Everything was routed flat. It was spanking. It still is with the not straight edge. It's wonderful. All the frets are cut pre-radius. Don't go too mad with your pre-radius. You know, you've got to over-radius a fret. Don't go too mad with stainless. Get it as close as you can. Just a tiny bit over-radius. All the tangs were nipped and infilled with a nice bit of maple. I then press them all in with a fractal fret press, the overpriced Wonder Bunner that everyone's got to have. it is lovely. It's tool porn, all right, but it's not completely 100% tool porn that you need in your life. You can use a VPN like the rest of us fucking clever boys in the UK. Now, I've pressed these in, I've CA glued them in. They were lovely jubbly. As another precaution, what I do these days is I put on a spare bit of sandpaper with the paper on the bottom, because we're not as thick as we look. I use the radius beam that I use to sand this board. That is the same as that, right? It's perfect. I put that on there while the CA glue's just gone on. I then clamp this. That's a clamp for any fucking thickies watching. And there's plenty of you. Oh no, there's plenty of you. Procrastinating thickies. So we're going to clamp that down. What I did last night. Here's a little nugget of knowledge for you. It's never perfect. Fret wire's not perfect. You're not perfect. Wood is not perfect. The world is not perfect. My wife is. At least that's what I say to her face. It's not what I say down the pub to the boys. Now, just as an example, on the 3rd fret, I've got a tiny rock. All right, these aren't going to budge. Right, they're glued in and lovely and snug. There's a tiny little rock there. If you do this and you've got a tiny little rock, it's nothing you've done. You can get perfection all the way through with all the sexy toolage, and you'll still get a few cheeky rockers. That cheeky rocker is better than you'll get on most production guitars. I've had thousands and thousands of pounds worth of expensive guitars with worse frets than that. So already we're ahead of the game, but I'm still going to have to level, recrown and polish these, which I'm going to do off camera, and we'll get them all spanking and polished up and oiled and looking lovely. Do you want to see what that looks like? I'm not going to montage it because we do fret jobs on the Monday vids. You see that all the time. I'm going to do it with the cameras off, but I'll show you what it looks like when it's finished, and then we'll conclude the video. And make sure you stay till the end for the funny clip. I always puts a funny clip in because it makes people watch to the end. And also, I'll swear a bit. YouTube doesn't share people's videos who make grown-up videos. They don't like to share them as much, right? They don't tell you that, but we fucking know. So set your notifications and remember that I upload twice a week at the same time. Don't miss an episode. I'll be cross.
5 minutes later.
Oh no, I was supposed to be doing like a clicky clicker somewhere so you can see it. But there you go. There is our nicely leveled frets. I did get asked the other day, does the fertilizer work on stainless steel frets? Yes, it does. It's just as good. In fact, it's all I ever use. So well worth it. Has our 3rd fret rock gone? Yes. Beautiful. It all looks pretty puckered down there. Fuck, I'm waffling shit. It's been a long day today. I've done basically fuck all, but we've got this done at least. So in the next episode, we will, I'll already have this attached, and we'll do some quick routes, get the routes done, because I'm top mounting the single coils and I'm doing a trem. So we need to look at that. That'll be the issues next week. And then once I've done that, the 4th episode, we'll be doing a bit of colouring, a bit of dye work. Oh, lovely. And then I think we're away. We'll have it built up and working and rather spiffing. So there you go. I've laid out the plan. The plan will change, but at least we think we've got a plan. Make sure you set notifications and all that, the bells. Ring the bells for the albino. That's what I'm fucking leaving it there. Special wave!
Then bounce it all 3 of them. So you think that is. I know.